Alrighty, hello and welcome to the HCGCast, your podcast for HCGLeague results, recaps, video game news, and beyond. I'm Alex Wolsky, your host, excited to be here. Also excited to nail that intro. I practiced that about a dozen times, if I'm being honest with you. I wanted to make a good first impression, you know? The first HCGcast on the HCGLeague Twitch channel. Super pumped to be doing all of this. We had our first event, the Monty's Open, a few weeks ago. We have our second event, the Monty's Rumble, coming up right now. For those of you who are new, let me catch you up. So if you've wandered here randomly, I can pretty much just, to simply explain what we are, the HCG League, it stands for Hardcore Casual Video Gaming League. We are exactly what is in the title. I mean, it's a video game league for the hardcore gamer, the casual gamer. It's really for everybody. It focuses on a competitive environment that's also friendly, that fosters shit-talking, but in a fun, friendly, family-oriented way. With cursing and beer, though. I'm not sure if that's family-oriented. I don't know. I'm getting a little off topic here. But we aim to just bring really fun video game action for adults for the most part right now. I've contemplated doing some events for kids, but as of right now, it's 21 plus. We hold our events in a bar. And we just want to have fun with this thing. I'm doing this podcast as sort of like an accompanying piece to every event that we do. The goal is for the HCG League to go weekly. We're going to broadcast all of our events on Twitch, live from Monty's place in Crofton, Maryland, where we do all these events. But right now, it's at once a month for maybe just the next one. We might go weekly soon. I'm not 100% sure. You will all know when that happens. But each podcast is going to accompany the event. I'm going to recap the results, the winners, each match. We're going to go over what happened, the stats, things like that. We're going to take it seriously. Again, this is just a bunch of people in the DMV coming together to drink some beers and play Mario Kart or whatever games we got going on. But I'm keeping track of things. I'm keeping stats. So, I don't know. We're going to have some fun with it. I got a couple things written down here I want to get to, just to kind of catch people up on how we do things, how things are going to be scored, how records are going to be kept. The Twitch channel, what I planned on doing with that. And then I'm going to recap the Monty's Open, our first event. And then give you some details on our next one. And how you can catch it either live and in person, if you want to compete, or how you can catch it here on Twitch. So, the HCG League, the Hardcore Casual Video Gaming League. I just decided I wanted to do it one day. I love leagues and statistics and stats and tournaments and stuff like that. So I was like, and I always think when I play video games and stuff, I play sports games and I like to make my own teams and tournaments. I was like, what if I did that with people? And invited my friends and others to come together and play video games, and I keep their stats for them and, let them go on their merry way while I have my fun. So that's really how it all came about. I ended up reaching out to Kyle Emmerich, who is one of the main head honchos over at Monty's place in Crofton. Kind of just I don't know. I feel like there's something about being at a bar and just, drinking and being out with your friends. Even if you don't drink, just being out with other people, being able to make some noise. Like, you're not in a house, you don't have to keep it down. You can hoot, you can holler, you can, you know what I mean? You can be out, and you can enjoy the competitive nature of video games. So that's kind of how that connection happened. I'm a musician by trade sometimes, not really anymore. But Monty's place has an awesome open mic. Charles Cavusi, a good friend of mine, runs it. And, all of that was just inspiration of, being able to run an event there. You get the idea. We are playing some of the games that we're playing. Right now, our first event was Mario Kart. So the way it's going to work if it goes weekly is it's going to be every Monday. The first Monday of every month is probably going to be Smash, since we're doing Smash the next time. So it'll be, the first Monday Smash, second Monday's Mario Kart. Third Monday is our third regular game. I want to get a third regular game in rotation. I'll talk about that a little bit later in the podcast. And then the fourth Monday of every month, that's going to be Wild Card Day. And that's going to be a day where we're going to play something crazy. Like, we're going to bust out GoldenEye. We're going to bust out Halo. We're going to bust out something weird and out there. It's still going to count the rankings. It's still going to count towards your record, but it's going to be different than the typical elimination tournaments that we do the other 3 Mondays every month. And if it comes down to it, I don't have a calendar in front of me, and I don't focus on these things very often, but if there's a 5th Monday in a month, we'll probably do something special. So I haven't thought that far ahead. I'm not sure what I would do if there was a 5th Monday, but we'd do something fun and special for it. So that's kind of the structure of how it's going to go. And that third regular game, I have a couple of ideas. It's not set in stone yet. I kind of want to have it set in stone within the next month. I do want feedback from others, when it comes to said third game. So I have one in mind, but I'm open to suggestions. Records and points. How we're going to be keeping records, points, things like that. So records, just like your typical fighting or sports, any kind of record, wins, losses, draws, which there probably won't be any draws. But we do this match, in a match structure. No matter the game we're playing, the match structure is still the same. 2 people going head to head, in either best of 5, best of 3, best of 7. Sometimes it's just best of 1, but just 1-on-1 for the most part. You get a point every time you win, and if you sweep someone, let's just say it's a best of 5, you win 1, 2, 3, you get 3 points, plus you get the 2 other points you would have scored had there been 2 other races, so you get 5. Same goes for 7. If you sweep them in 4, you get 7 points. If you win 6, if you win 5, they win 1, and then you win 1, you can kind of do the math there. But that's how the point structure works. Points are, and I'll show you when I bring the diagram up, points are more of a tiebreaker than anything. The record is the most important. And this is outside, the tournament structure. I'm getting a little ahead of myself. This is just overall rankings. But when I'm placing overall rankings, I take, whoever won the most goes up top. And, if someone's won the same amount as them, it's who lost less and who has more points. Excuse me, if they tied and wins, it's who has more points. You get the idea. I'm a little scatterbrained here, sorry. But that's how I determine rankings. But every tournament we do, besides the wild card, 4th Mondays, they're single elimination. But when you get knocked out, you go into a little consolation kind of round robin thing that I throw together as the event and the night goes on, to keep you playing, to keep you winning or losing, to kind of keep your record up. Because if you play with us over time, having a better record is going to benefit you. We want to do a Champions League and stuff like that. So records are important. Wins and losses matter. But also have fun. Losses can be fun. And the match structure, like I had already mentioned earlier, it's going to be best of for the most part. When we do Mario Kart, you play with bots. So it's 1-on-1. If you finish 2nd, your buddy finishes 3rd, then you win. We do that to kind of, I don't know, I feel like it helps the 1-on-1 aspect of Mario Kart to get blue shelled by a fucking, the computer in 12th place. That really throws a wrench into things, and that kind of goes along with the hardcore casual sort of mindset. It's for everybody. We want everybody to kind of have a chance at this. League tournament structure. I'm reading from notes here if you can't tell. Sorry, this is a bit of a rough draft here of what I want to do with this weekly live podcast. But I have league and tournament structure here. Pretty much that. It's single elimination. You go down into the round robin bracket. I keep track of who wins the tournaments. I keep track of what place you come in. And every couple of months, I want to do a Champions League where I take the best, finishers from all the events and put them together and do something fun. And a couple more notes here. Monty's. I want to talk to you about the place that we do this at. Monty's Place in Crofton. It's a wonderful bar that has just been so gracious and nice in hosting us. It's a fun place to be. They host their open mic. That's how I became familiar with them. Well, I grew up in Crofton, so I always knew about them. But I started, being a patron of this place when they put on their open mic. I loved it. Charles Cavuzzi does a great job there. It's got a cool little nook in the side for events and putting on cool things. It's got a cool crowd that comes out. A real untapped crowd, Crofton has the potential for a nightlife. It's really there. people want to have a good time. There's people who live in Crofton that have to go to Annapolis and DC and Baltimore to have a real good time. But Monty's, I'm telling you, you bring the right events there, you bring the right people there, it's a fun little spot. And we really appreciate them doing everything they've done to accommodate us, to bring us in. Kyle Emmerich has been a huge part of that, so we thank him very much. And our next event is coming up September the 2nd at Monty's Place. It is the Monty's Rumble. This is our Super Smash Brothers event. It's a single elimination tournament. As mentioned before, Super Smash Brothers Ultimate for the Nintendo Switch. It is no holds barred. I had somebody ask me the other day, what's the rule set on this? And I was a little I was a little confused. Like, rule set? What's that mean? And I kind of looked into it, but I was like, you know what? No rule set. It's 3 stock, 2 minutes and 30-second matches, like the standard. And that's it. You can pick whatever character you want. There's no other rules besides that. I mean, you can't smack the controller out of the other person's hand. You know, like, you can't be a dick. I mean, it's... This league is essentially just imagine you're sitting on the couch with your friends playing video games, except it's a tournament and there's a kind of a prize at stake and there's stats being kept. So if you're mature enough and smart enough to get that in your head, you can understand like how the tournaments are going to go. So if you feel like you're going to exploit some loophole, some fucked up shit, you know, like cheat, I mean, we'll just disqualify you and you'll be done. So that's kind of the answer to that question. But no, it's free for all, no holds barred, unless you're being a dick about it. And yes, you can sign up for that at 7:30 p.m. at Monty's Place in Crofton. We're gonna get started around like 8:15, somewhere around there. Yeah, we get kicked off right off with the first round, around 8:15. Moving forward, this is fun. Live is fun. It's different. Most of the podcasts I do are like recorded, so I can fuck up. There can be some dead air, and I can edit it. This is, this isn't my forte. It's gonna take a little bit of practice. But I thank you very much for being with me. Next order of business, the Twitch channel, where you're watching me right now, hopefully, or you're listening on SoundCloud.com/the HCGLeague. I don't know. You could be doing either or. But the Twitch channel is where we're going to be broadcasting the events. We wanted to stream the Monty's Open. It didn't work out that way. I just couldn't get the infrastructure together in enough time. But, the Mondays that we do events, which is hopefully going to be every Monday soon, but, September 2nd at 7:30, you can check in. That's when we're going to turn the stream on while we're doing signups. It's kind of could be a bit of a pre-show. I'm going to be one of the broadcasters. My friend Tom McIntyre from the Static Sweetness, also from a litany of local bands. He's going to be my broadcast partner. We have Mr. Conway Johnson, going to be our producer. We have Dan Whitney, Mr. Witt, who's going to be doing some DJing and lighting. And that's kind of going to be the production team. The one that's what I've thrown together so far. And we're going to be bringing it to you live, hopefully every Monday coming soon. Tuesday. So this obviously isn't Tuesday right now. This is Monday, I think. Yes, I think it's Monday. I work a really weird schedule, so I don't really know what day of the week it is most times. But the Tuesday, so the day after every tournament, that's when I'm going to do this podcast, the HCGCast, where I recap, the last tournament's results, things like that, things I mentioned at the beginning of the episode. As well as like news and updates if anything comes up. I don't really have my finger on the pulse too much, but if something interesting, if there's an interesting topic in the ether, in the world, mainly of video games, I'll probably talk about it. Just like I'm going to be talking about WoW Classic at the end of this episode, so stay tuned for that. Real exciting shit. But yeah, that's what's going to happen on Tuesday. So Monday and Tuesdays, the goal for the other 5 days is to fill it with programming. Something. Of course, Mondays would be the event. Tuesdays would be this podcast. I would like to do, like I mentioned earlier, WoW Classic. I'd like to do a WoW stream. Maybe on Wednesdays. Production man Conway, maybe he could do, something on a Friday. I don't know. I'm open to suggestions. I'm open to people who want to come on the team maybe and do something. If you think you have an idea, if you're a particularly talented streamer, if you're a particularly talented gamer, you don't even have to have, that much of a personality, but if you kick ass at Dota or something, we can find a spot for you on the channel. And the goal eventually is to, make it almost like a TV channel, 7 days a week, programming on all 7 days. But we're starting slow. That's the ultimate goal, but we're going to start with just maybe getting one thing on every day. We're going to start even slower right now with just getting, the Monday, Tuesday stuff going. What else about the Twitch? That's really, that's really all I got about the Twitch stream. Other competitions. We've done the Monty's Open, and that's what, the Mario Kart competitions will be. The next time we do the Monty's Open will be the Monty's Open 2, Electric Boogaloo, whatever we decide it to be. The Monty's Rumble, that's going to be the Smash event, it'll be 1, 2, 3. Now, for the third game, and this is, I teased it earlier in the episode, but the third game, I was thinking, since we're already a Nintendo Switch-oriented league at the moment, not married to it, but kind of oriented towards it, I was thinking Rocket League would be a good third game, and have the third event be called the Monty's Cup. The Rocket League event would be, just one-on-one, the way we typically do stuff. It fits because it fits inside of the structure of each competition. You know what I mean? Like, you can play Mario Kart, Smash, Rocket League. They're 3 separate games, but I can keep track of wins and losses and matches and points in the same way. So it just makes the most sense for me. It's what I would like to have happen. I've heard from other people who have come and competed and people I've talked to that they think that's a pretty good idea too. So I'm heavily leaning towards Rocket League being number 3. Definitely want to do so. An idea that I had, and this would be for maybe more of a wild card week, something called the Super Mario Eliminator, or the Super Monty's Mario Eliminator, I think was the name of it. Essentially what that would be is the original Super Mario Brothers, right? One life, get as far as you can. If you die, that's where you stop. If you die at World 1-1, that's it. One life. And we do it in an elimination style bracket. So we bracket you up with people. Let's say I face Kyle in the first round. I get to World 1-3. He gets to World 2-4. Well, he obviously goes on. I figured that could be fun. I had the idea of doing, COD Zombies. That would be different. That's not really a knockout style tournament. Groups of 2 kind of compete in a round structure. But that's all I got for you right now. I was going to talk about WoW Classic a little bit, but if you can maybe pick it up behind me, there's a beautiful little baby that wants my attention. She was just waking up from her nap. I was able to squeeze this podcast in the middle of one of her naps. But I'll save WoW Classic for maybe something down the road. This was just a little introduction to what the Hardcore Casual Gaming League is going to be about. The HCGLeague, Hardcore Casual Video Gaming League, what have you. I also didn't get to the Monty's Open results. I will do that, I promise. But this is a good intro into what we're about, what I'm about, and what we plan to be about in the future. So thank you very much. I will do the results podcast next time she takes a nap. Thank you very much for hanging out with me. I will see you at the Monty's Rumble, September the 2nd. And I look forward to watching you play. No, I don't like that catchphrase. I'm not going to use that catchphrase. I don't want to watch you play. I don't want to watch you play.